Louisiana. She's the exception and never the rule. She's a mystery that asks not to be solved, but simply to be experienced. Louisiana, where you can come as you are and leave different.
Whether you're planning a Louisiana convention, family reunion, or a southern vacation, the Louisiana Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus connects you to information sources throughout the state. The Louisiana Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus. The Baton Rouge Area Convention and Visitors Bureau welcomes you and yours to Baton Rouge, Louisiana's state capital. From the old governor's mansion to fabulous dining and Zydeco dancing, Baton Rouge, authentic Louisiana at every turn.
Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits, featuring Cajun-style chicken, red beans and rice, and buttermilk biscuits, all flavored by the memories and imaginations of Louisiana chefs. Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits, committed to preserving Louisiana's flavor heritage.
Here in Louisiana, we have a saying, we don't eat to live, we live to eat. And y'all, that could have a double meaning. In every bayou village and home we visited, we found one thing to be true. Although all of our dishes taste great, they're not all good for us. So my mission today is to take our time-honored recipes and make them a little healthier for us. I'm Chef John Folse. Welcome to Louisiana Cooking with a Change of Heart. How y'all doing? Hello. How are you? Nice to see you. How are you doing? Good to see you. How you doing? Man, I love that color right there. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Hey, baby. How are you? Good. How you doing? Hey, Mike. Good. Hey. Thank y'all. Welcome everyone to my home kitchen. I really appreciate you coming in today, and I hope all the dishes are to your liking. I certainly hope they are. Y'all, the reason you're all here is because of this beautiful lady right here, Brenda Martin from Lafayette, Louisiana. Let's give her a hand. As all of you know, I have a challenge here every day in the kitchen. Louisianians send me their favorite recipes, the old traditional ways with all the good things in it, and it's my job to take them and modify them just slightly to take some of the things that's not as good out of it and kind of replace it with the things that make the new recipe taste as good as the original. So y'all, I took a little trip out to Brenda's home in Lafayette, her new home in Lafayette, and she gave me a lesson in preparing one of the most famous dishes in Louisiana history, Coush Coush. So I want y'all to come in and visit with us as we did that. I'll tell you, we had a lot of fun that day, huh? Y'all, you're not gonna believe this. Often in one's life, you move away from the old home place to another town, but that doesn't mean you move away from your traditions. In fact, it's quite simple to bring your lifetime memories along like Brenda Martin did in Lafayette.
I was about to make coffee. Come on in. Look, the water's already boiling.
Oh, that's fantastic. And look at that old French drip pot. There's got to be a story there.
I thought you'd like this pot. Well, I'll tell you this story. My mother got it as a wedding gift in 1935 when she and my dad got married.
35, yeah.
And then I married in 68, and she gave it to me. And then my daughter got married in 94, and I gave it to her. And recently I borrowed it back because she hadn't used it.
She was using that fancy percolator.
Yeah.
So this pot's about 80 years old or so. That's really fantastic.
Yes.
And boy, did it make great coffee. Now, you just pour the hot water?
No, actually you should do like 2 tablespoons at the time, but in this world of instant everything, I do a little more than 2 tablespoons. You pour a little bit, making sure you hit all the grinds, and then you let it puff up. And
oh yeah, the old French method, yeah.
Come on in, I want to show you some of my china. In fact, this is one of my favorite things in my new house. So I have room to display a lot of my things.
Oh, and it's gorgeous stuff. Oh, look
actually,
at that.
this was a wedding gift from my parents, and they married in 1935. A little coffee set, and there's 16 cups. And actually, I enjoy using them so much. My china, my wedding china, my husband and I got married in 68, really coordinates with this.
Yeah, no, it does.
You know, that French drip coffee, you can only handle so much of it, so that's why we use these after dinner or demi-tasse cups.
That's the small cups.
This was actually from my husband's grandmother down in Miami.
And the eggs, the little eggs are gorgeous.
This would be a collection that I started the year my daughter was born in 1971, and they're limited edition Nartaki, all hand-painted, and I get one every year. John, remembering the past is just so important when you move into a new house. You see this fireplace right here?
Oh, it's beautiful.
I can remember one exactly like that in my grandparents' house in New Iberia, and I just had to have it. This was actually made from a mold from an old cast iron fireplace in New Orleans.
That was used in New Orleans. Now, where was your grandparents from?
New Iberia. They were the Conrads from the Conrad Rice Mill.
Oh, Conrad
family.
Rice Mill, yeah. Oh, it's a beautiful, beautiful piece. What about the little irons down
well, those irons were on my maternal side, my grandmother Verrett, and she actually used those to iron with, and she heated them in her fireplace, unfortunately.
Well, you know, this is really beautiful pieces. Now, talking about your grandmothers, you promised to give me a lesson in the art of Cajun Coush Coush. You ready?
If you are, you're a brave man.
I'm ready. I'm a brave guy. Well, I tell you, finally, I'm over a bowl of cornmeal here to get my lesson. Now, this is a stone ground cornmeal, the old stone ground meal, and this is about 2 cups, right?
I put 2 cups in
Now,
there.
what else goes into it?
Well, not much. Baking powder, a little salt, and milk. So
Okay,
if you want to put a teaspoon of baking powder in there?
It's in. How much salt goes into it?
Well, I just put, you know how that goes.
To taste,
yeah.
Once the milk is well blended into the seasoned cornmeal mixture, it's then spooned into the cast iron skillet with a little vegetable oil or bacon fat. The fat must be smoking hot, y'all, because when making Cajun Coush Coush, the technique is to have a light brown crust form on the bottom of the skillet prior to stirring it for the first time. At that point, the temperature is turned down to low, the skillet covered, but you have to stir it often, y'all, for about 15 minutes. When done, it's eaten as a cereal with a little sugar or milk poured over it, or with a cup of that French roasted coffee. Yes, y'all, another one of those dishes unique to Cajun country, simple but in an elegant way. Tastes like good fried cornmeal to me. Hey, it tasted a lot better than just fried cornmeal. It was fantastic. Hey, well, again, welcome. And I noticed you brought that little coffee pot, right?
Sure did.
Now, you told me a story that you had given that. Where did it come from?
Actually, it was a wedding gift from my parents in 1935, and then it got passed along to me when I got married in 1968.
Well, you know, there's an issue here, because look at my coffee pot that was handed down to my great-grandfather, the Royal Duke of you notice the color here, the gold. I took your recipe for the great Café au lait, that wonderful coffee milk of Louisiana. Look at that, y'all. Let me introduce, there you go. And I'm gonna put Rex, this one's not for you. Y'all, Rex is my camera operator right behind me here. He does all the wonderful things with that camera to make sure that y'all all see everything out in the world. There's your Café au lait right there. You notice those cups?
Oh, beautiful.
Handmade for me by a wonderful Oriental, that's not true, I'm just kidding. Café au lait, y'all, boiled cream, good, strong Louisiana coffee, and of course, we're the sugar state, right? So, a little sugar, isn't it nice? Nice and, potent, I call it. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna sip on my little Café au lait, because that's what we're gonna finish the Coush Coush with. Now, you come from a, talk about royal lineage. you come from the great Conrad, or your grandfather and grandmother on one side of the family, the great Conrads from the Conrad rice mill, right? Tell me a little bit about them.
Well, the Conrads they started migrating down to New Iberia in the early 1900s from the New Roads area and started growing rice, and has started the first rice mill in the country. It's the oldest rice mill still in operation. Of course, it's not in the family anymore. It's now known as Conrico rice.
Well, you know, when you sell things for millions and millions of dollars, you retire. I mean, that's the way that's what I plan on doing at some point. Huh?
Well, there were 9 brothers, so it got split up a lot.
Well, anyway, hey, rice is like oil in Louisiana. It's one of our main commodities, so congratulations on starting the oldest rice mill in Louisiana. Okay, y'all, Coush Coush. Coush Coush. In South Africa, or in Africa, there's couscous. the grain that's rubbed like this together between the hands. But this is a cornmeal dish. Do you know the origin of it?
Actually, I think it came down with the slaves from Africa.
Is that right?
And the corn was available, so they made it out of cornmeal.
Well, y'all, I want to show you this wonderful display of cornmeal right here, Rex, if you can get. This is all the things that we have to work with in cornmeal here. We have the grits, which is the white corn. Of course, this is basically polenta, too, when we cook it. That's what we're looking at. So we have a lot of great options in cornmeal. I have 2 cups right here that I'm going to put in. Y'all remember that cheer that, what, the LSU uses, huh? Y'all know it? Why don't you go ahead, yell it for me, huh? Hot blue day, cold coush coush. Cold coush coush. Tigers, push, push, push. All right. I don't know where that came from, huh? 2 cups of cornmeal, half a teaspoon of salt, because I'm modifying your recipe. You know why? We are what we eat, y'all. We are what we eat. You have to face it. Whatever goes in here, you have to live with. So I'm cutting back the fat. I'm cutting back the sodium. So I'm putting in a little baking powder. So I do have the cornmeal. I do have the baking powder in here, a little bit salt. I cut the salt in half. So that cut the sodium in half, obviously. Now, you use whole milk. Whole milk. I'm using skim milk. Skim milk, y'all, by using half the oil in my skillet to fry it and skim milk, I'm cutting the fat 72%. 72% in this recipe. And of course, there's 8 grams of fat in milk. So by using skim milk, I'm cutting 12 grams of fat out of here. But yet, I still have the same great flavor of the fried cornmeal or the coush coush. Now, was this more a breakfast item or a dinner item?
Well, actually, we ate it breakfast, dinner, supper, particularly during Lent. Because, being, you know, strong Catholics, we only ate meat once a day in Lent. So that served the purpose often.
Now, you know, now, Rex, I want you to look at this beautiful skillet here. Now, this is your skillet. You brought it in to me, right? And tell me about that. Is that one from the family, another one?
Oh, definitely.
That's an old one.
Yes. I know it was my grandmother's, and it could have been her mother, so it could have been my great-grandmother's. I'm not really sure.
Now,
but my mother used it every day that I can remember.
Right.
Every day. And then passed it along to me.
Now, the key is to put the coush coush in a hot skillet, as you mentioned. Now, the skim milk reduces the fat dramatically. I used only half of the oil, so I cut back a lot of it. Now, the key is to not stir it for just a couple of minutes because we want to get that nice toasted brown bottom, right? So it takes now it only takes about 15 minutes to cook this dish from start to finish. So it's something that could be cooked quickly. It's obviously very starchy with the corn, so it would add a lot of stick to your ribs goodness to keep those farmers in Cajun country going, right? Huh? Absolutely. I think it was also a way to not spend a lot of money on the kids, huh? If you didn't have. Now, Rex, you get down in my skillet here because when I turn this over, you see that nice brown color? That's what we're looking for. We're looking to toast. Stir that. Help me out here. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I love about Rex. Oh, Rex, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Now I just chop it up like that. This wonderful coush coush. I just chop it up like this. Now, if you're going to use it as a breakfast item, you just pour coffee milk on top of it, or café au lait, as we call it, that wonderful coffee dish of Louisiana. If you're going to use it for dinner or so, you might put fruit on it, or even cane syrup. Absolutely, the great cane syrup. And Rex, if we can come right here, I want to look at in this pot right here because I cooked some a little earlier today, and you can see how it looks very nice here, and you can see how it ends up very crumbly. That's the way it's supposed to be right here, huh? Very, very crumbly. And when you serve it, I'm going to take a little breakfast bowl like this. And I'm going to put a spoon of it in here, in the bowl, and then a little coffee milk on top of it is the way you would do it, right? At least I think that's the way you would do it. Let me see here. You know, I'm going to have a disaster with this top here. You don't think for a minute I'm going to hurt myself, huh? What about that much?
Well, more.
A little more, you tell me, a little bit more, huh? Now look at here, Rex, let's move over a little bit over here because, look, I'm gonna throw a few little golden raisins in here too. I'm gonna throw some raisins in here. I'm gonna I would throw some rice in here in honor of your grandfather and mother, but, now, you have a spoon right there. I want you to taste it and tell me what you think because that's the low-fat version right there. And let me know what that tastes like to you. And let me give I'm gonna send one more out here to my buddy Mike. Mike Graham. Everybody knows Mike Graham here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mike helps me cook every week here, so I'm going to throw a little bit in there. And, Mike, I think you have a spoon right there. And, y'all, take a look at this one, Rex, because I'm going to compare these two because this one right here is the one that Brenda sent in to me today. See, that's hers, and this is mine. They look pretty close, don't they? Yeah, I think so. How is it, y'all? Let me hear something.
Delicious.
Pretty good, huh? Pretty good for
Tastes
old...
just like Coush Coush.
Huh? That's what it's supposed to That's what it's supposed to do, y'all. Okay, now the next dish, y'all. I have a dish that is unbelievable. Anybody cook white beans in here? Huh? Anybody? Ah, absolutely. White beans, red beans, the old story of red beans being cooked on Monday in Louisiana because it was wash day and you could keep a big pot of red beans going and we would season it with what? Ham and smoked sausage and andouille and tasso, who knows what, eh? Any kind of smoked meats. We love smoked meats in Louisiana. Well, white beans in my family was always eaten on Friday. Red beans on Monday, white beans on Friday. I think that was to keep 4 days between them. You know? Hey, we love the rough stuff, you know what I mean, in my house, but hey, you know, what can I say? What can I say? Y'all, I want to show my good friends out in the world all of the options we have here in beans and seasoning meats. Of course, there's my red beans right here. That's my Monday beans. This is my Friday beans. Of course, see my little peppers to spice it up. I have the little navies here, the greens, black beans. I have a lot of varieties of beans. But Rex, look at the different meats to season it with. Tasso right here. Smoked ham hocks. Oh, delicious. Look at the fat on there. It's got to be good. This ham, y'all, smoked ham out of one of the Bayou smokehouses. Andouille sausage, one of the great smoked meats of Louisiana, pecan wood, 9 hours right here. But I've got to modify it, so look at here, Rex. I'm doing smoked turkey sausage, smoked turkey ham. Why? Because we love the smoke. We don't necessarily have to have the fat. So let me show y'all how we put it together. Y'all, that's one of the biggest problems we have in Louisiana, too, is that we don't quite realize that it's not so much the smoked meats we like. We do like the smoked meats, but not because of all of the fat and everything that's in it, much more so because of the smoked wood flavor that it adds to our meat. So, Rex, if you look down in my little cast iron pot there, that stuff looking pretty good, huh? Huh? Oh, yeah. Now, you see this? This is turkey bacon, y'all. Turkey bacon. And by using a lean turkey ham and a turkey bacon, I've cut the fat in these beans by 43%, cholesterol by 40%. So you can eat twice the beans. In fact, you can eat white beans on Wednesday and Friday night. Okay? Wednesday and Friday. Okay, y'all, so now that I have this in here, I'm going to throw some of that lean ham down in here as well. Now, Brenda, while I'm doing this, I see some gorgeous pictures that you have in front of you there. You're an amateur photographer. At some point you love to take pictures. You take some beautiful pictures. What got you started on that? I want to see a couple of them, too. What do you have there?
Well, this is a photograph of the Morgan City bridges that I took maybe 7 or 8 years ago.
Oh, so and that, you took that with your camera. This is what, early morning shot or late night?
Actually, it was a late evening shot.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. Let me see those black and whites. I love black and whites. Any one of them would be great. Oh, that's a gorgeous shot. Rex, take a look at this. This is red bean day here. This is wash day, huh? That's gorgeous. Tell me about that.
That was taken in Grand Coteau. I just think Grand Coteau is just a beautiful little town.
Grand Coteau, right outside of Lafayette,
Correct.
Louisiana, the heart of Cajun country. That's a beautiful black. Well, you take gorgeous photography. You don't want to sell any of those, do you?
Well, actually, I had an offer from the Coast Guard for this bridge picture.
Oh,
and it is used on lots of websites.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. beautiful. You know another thing, when I was in your home, you did such a fabulous job of keeping up with all of the wonderful memories of your past. Even though you moved from one town to another, as many people do late in life, and they move their belongings with them, they disperse them, but you've kept everything together. All of your daughter's little ceramics and everything, all the china. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful what you've done to surround yourself with the memories. Is that
comfortable?
Yeah, it makes you comfortable. I think so.
Feel at home.
Well, you did a great job. So, Rex, take a look at here. I have my turkey ham, my lean ham, my sausage, my bacon. Now, y'all, look at my beans. I've taken my white beans and I've soaked them in water overnight. Why? You cut the cooking time in half. They pick up 40% water when you soak them overnight, which makes them much more tender. That's why you do this. So now, before I add that to the pot, let me add the rest of my seasonings. A little bit onions, a little bit celery. Of course, one of the things we want to do when we modify fat, y'all, is build up the things that are good for us. Look at all these nice seasonings. Onions, celery, bell pepper, a lot of garlic, y'all, and pepper, and pepper. A lot of it, and pepper. A little green onions are going to go down in here. Now I'm going to add my white beans right down in there as well. They're already pre-soaked. And all that wonderful smoky meat down there, y'all, oh, it's going to be fantastic. Look at that. Look at that, Rex. You're too good to me. Now I'm going to add some stock. I have you can add water, of course. Most Cajuns do. But I'm adding a low-sodium chicken stock. Why? Because it's going to just add more flavor to a dish that has a lot of fat removed out of it already. So, y'all, I would bring this to a rolling boil, reduce it to simmer, cook it for about an hour and a half, stirring it and mashing it along the side of the pot every now and then. Why? To cream the beans, right? You want to cream them. And I think you have an idea of what I've done here. So I want to show you what the finished pot of beans look like, because I tell you, this is absolutely spectacular. This nice big, oh, look at there, huh? Look at that, Rex. I know you want to jump in there, Rex. Look at that ham, all of that nice ham there, y'all. Huh? Henry, I know you're close to the thing here. What is that? What does it smell like, Henry? Tell me.
Smells great.
You haven't smelled anything in Morgan City this good lately, I'll tell you, huh? And this, y'all, is low fat, because I've cut the fat by 43%, the cholesterol by 40%, and the sodium by 40% as well. And look how creamy those beans are. Mike, I'm going to send a little bit to you here, and then I want you to kind of send some back to the rest. That's yours right there. Now, y'all, a couple of what would I serve these things with? Let me get this. Yeah, just hand that back, Mike. I better serve one more for Mike here, and then Mike can take, and you have some plates right there in front of you, Mike. And you know something else before I jump on this other thing? A little hot sauce, y'all. Yeah. Yeah, on top of your beans. And a little bit of the vinegar peppers, a little, huh? That's the way beans are served to royalty in my house, huh? Pass that back. Now, look at a couple of quick things that I cooked. Rex, take a look at that right there. My little sweet dough pies, y'all. My little sweet dough pies, tot douce. This is one of the most authentic Cajun desserts because it uses the fresh fruit found in the bayous of Louisiana. This is strawberries, right in strawberry season. I've reduced the, you know, the regular ones use shortening, whole milk, of course, and whole eggs. I'm using egg substitute, I'm using light margarine, and of course skim milk, and I've cut the fat 40%. You can use any, look at that lemon, oh, that's lemon, y'all. You can use any fruit you want in that dish. It's spectacular. A little powdered sugar. Put the good things on it, y'all. Now, look over here at my stuffed tomatoes. The stuffed tomatoes are just fantastic, and you see all those gorgeous tomatoes right behind it in a little basket. The stuffed tomatoes are stuffed, of course, with celery and bell pepper and onion and all of that. Fat-free Italian dressing is the dressing. Fat-free Parmesan cheese gives it the flavor. I've chopped up egg whites, just boil the egg whites. I put one whole egg in it, but then I chopped up the egg whites. 84% fat, y'all, out of that recipe. Y'all, thanks a million for being here with us today. Who says mama's cooking can't be healthy? Y'all come back and see us next week. I'm going to serve these people. Hey, I'm serving you right here. All right, thank you.
Louisiana. She's the exception and never the rule. She's a mystery that asks not to be solved, but simply to be experienced. Louisiana, where you can come as you are and leave different.
Whether you're planning a Louisiana convention, family reunion, or a southern vacation, the Louisiana Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus connects you to information sources throughout the state. The Louisiana Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus. The Baton Rouge Area Convention and Visitors Bureau welcomes you and yours to Baton Rouge, Louisiana's state capital. From the old governor's mansion to fabulous dining and Zydeco dancing, Baton Rouge, authentic Louisiana at every turn.
Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits, featuring Cajun-style chicken, red beans and rice, and buttermilk biscuits, all flavored by the memories and imaginations of Louisiana chefs. Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits, committed to preserving Louisiana's flavor heritage.
Something old and something new, Louisiana Cooking with a Change of Heart, is available for $29.95. This companion book to the television series features over 150 recipes. To order, please call 1-800-973-7246 or send check or money order to the address shown on your screen.
A Taste of Louisiana, Louisiana Cooking with a Change of Heart, is available for $19.95. This VHS video contains one episode of Chef John Folse's new television series. Please send check or money order to the address on your screen and mention the show number with your order.